Yeah. Head.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stars and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red
Welcome to Jerry Rick Park. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. Today is June 11th, 2005. And right now, we have the AA Championships featuring the White Sox and the Marlins. And it's the Marlins starting things off here. We're just in the top of the first inning. No score. First batter of the game, Chris Passanisi. Umpire finally ready there. Behind the plate, had a little bit of equipment problem, but he sorted that out, and now we're underway. Pitching right now for the White Sox, number 1, Zach Wissing. Does a nice pitch in there right over for a strike. It's always good for a pitcher to get that first strike under his belt. It's just a little bit low, and the leadoff man for the Marlins, Chris Passanisi, will get the walk.
Number 8, Matt McGarry.
And that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, number 8, Matt McGarry. Matt with a nice batting stance there as he's in the box. Pitch by Zach, just a little bit inside. And Zach's next pitch is just a little bit low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And McGarry will watch that one go a little bit low, and it's 3-0. So Zach needs to take a little breather up there on the mound and get his rhythm together, the 3-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. So he comes right back with a strike there. Still has the runner at first, Chris Passanisi. That pitch is fouled away, and that's 2 strikes now on Matt McGarry. On deck, number 2, Andrew Koval, and Neil Boyd, the number 4 batter, wearing number 4, will be waiting his turn. That pitch fouled out of play here down the first baseline. Nice cut there by Matt McGarry. So Zach trying to get that ball right by him, but McGarry right on top of it for the Marlins. Nice pitch by Zach. Going down to get it was McGarry. Couldn't come up with it as it's swung on a miss, and on the play, stealing second base, Chris Passanisi.
Number 2, Andrew Koval.
And Andrew Koval, number 2, will step in. He's a runner at second base with 1 out. It's a strikeout by Zach Wissing. As he came back, he was struggling, walked the first batter at a couple of balls to the next one, but that ball is hit into left field between shortstop and third. It'll keep rolling, finally cut off by the center fielder, Alex Cohn. Coming around to score is Chris Passanisi on a single by Andrew Koval. So it's 1-0 Marlins here in the top of the first. So Andrew Koval with a single to left field puts the Marlins on. And that pitch hit into the air to right field. Right fielder underneath it makes a nice catch. Nice job here by the White Sox right fielder, number 9, Corey Wilson.
Number 9, John McCallum.
So a fly out to right field. There's 2 outs now. Nice play by Wilson. Still at first base, it's Matt McGarry and John McCallum. Steps in now. McCallum with a big swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the White Sox catcher and over to second base. Goes McGarry. Actually, that's Koval, Andrew Koval, over at second now. 2 outs. White Sox want to get out of the inning. They've only allowed 1 run. Pitch just a little bit high by Zach. Big swing. So John McCallum takes a little bit of a walk around the batter's box. Now he's back in. And Zach's pitch. Swing and a foul. Hits the backstop. So 2 strikes on McCallum. So these Marlins, they come up there, they could swing the bat. A couple of hard hit balls here today, a lot of fouls. And so a walk there. Still at second base is Koval. And now at first is McCallum, and Kyle Sample now, number 3, will come to bat. Zach's first pitch is in there for a strike. First and second, 2 out. A run is in. And I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. We're here. Scripps Ranch Little League. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So Sample with 2 strikes. Zach trying to get out of this top of the first inning. And for the White Sox, when they come up in the bottom, Corey Wilson, Bryce Willett, and Alex Cohn will lead it off for the White Sox. That ball just outside, a little low, 1-2. Another foul ball over here to the right side. And he's still alive, Kyle Sample. Swing and a miss by Sample. And that should be the 3rd out of the inning. It is. So Zach Wissing will get out of it here. They leave 2 runners on to the Marlins, but they do press a run across the board. We'll come back to the bottom of the first inning. It's Marlins 1, White Sox coming up for the first time. And we're back to the AA World Series. This championship game featuring the Marlins and the White Sox. Marlins are the home team, or actually the White Sox are the home team here today as they come up here in the bottom of the first. They spotted the Marlins 1 run in the top of the first inning, and see if the White Sox can come back and get something going. Corey Wilson, number 9, the right fielder, made that nice catch in the top of the inning. Will lead things off against number 2, Andrew Koval. Andrew's first pitch is outside. So Corey Wilson up there. Ball 1, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice day here. A lot of eucalyptus trees surrounding Steve Allen Field here at Jerbeck Park. A lot of festivities here today, a lot of kids, a lot of food. A lot of big air mattress things. People jump inside of. Not quite sure what you call it, but they look fun. Pitch just outside for a ball, and so Corey Wilson will draw the leadoff walk here in the first inning, and Bryce Willett, number 4, now batting. Nice pitch by Andrew Koval. In there for a strike. 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Strike 2 in there. Got him looking on that one. And so Bryce now in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. Corey Wilson at first base. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded over towards first. A pitcher comes over, makes a nice play to John McCallum covering first. So a nice play by Andrew Koval. Over to second base on that fielder's choice will go Corey Wilson. So you got one out. And Alex Cohn, number 2 for the White Sox, leading it off here. Wild pitch gets away, and Corey Wilson will scamper over to third base on that wild pitch. Andrews' pitch, swinging and a foul back. Right at the plate, bounce, and then goes to the backstop. Pitch outside. So the White Sox with the tying run over at third base. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Gets away from the catcher. It's ball 4. And now there's runners at first and third. One out here in the first inning. And the pitcher, Zach Wissing, number 1, coming up to bat. Pitch a little bit low. So Andrew up there. Andrew Koval for the Marlins. In a little bit of trouble here in the first inning. That pitch is hit in the air to left field and it'll fall for a base hit. Gets away from the left fielder, coming all the way around, number 2, Alex Cohn. They're going to hold him at third base. It looked like they were going to send him. The throw finally comes in to the infield, and the White Sox have tied the game 1-1.
Number 10, Martin Negro.
So over to third base is Alex Cohn. Wissing with a double.
You know what the score is?
Pitch just outside, and it's Martin Mugro. He'll take another ball. 2-0. We still have one out. Infield kind of playing in for the Marlins. They want to cut off that run at the plate. That's the go-ahead run. It's early though. Bottom of the first. That pitch in there for strike. Swing and a miss. And that is it for the number 5 batter, Martin Mugro. And Nick Kreider will be the batter. So we have 2 outs. 2 guys on base. 1 run is in. And Nick Kreider, number 3, steps in. Wearing that blue helmet. And now Andrew Koval has an opportunity to get out of the inning with just giving up the 1 run. Swing and a foul back. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. The wind has died down. It was a little bit windy right before the start of this game. Now the flags aren't moving. Swing and a miss. And that's 2 strikes on Nick Kreider. Michael Dieters is on deck. Andrews' pitch is a ball outside. And that pitch, swing and a miss. And so Kreider goes down swinging, but the White Sox get some hits. They get a run to tie this game, and we will go to the top of the second inning. 1-1 tie. Okay, the Marlins coming up here in the top of the second inning. I'm Ken Gonzalez, George Langevin Productions. And that ball is ripped just over the shortstop as he tries to jump high into the air to snag it. But it goes into left field for a single. And the Marlins have the leadoff batter, number 11, Wyatt Baker, on board.
Number 7, Sean Reiner.
So Wyatt Baker with a single to left field. And Sean Reiner, number 7, now batting for the Marlins. So the Marlins, they had the lead in the top of the first. White Sox tied it in the bottom. And now the Marlins get the first batter up. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base. Not in time. It actually gets into center field. So Wyatt with the stolen base for the Marlins. Sean Reiner. Zach's pitch. That's hit right back to Zach. Makes a nice play over to first, all the way across the diamond.
Oh, got him.
And let's see, the throw is not in time there. And is he out or safe? And they're going to talk about it to see. Very close. I think he's safe. He looks safe from here, I think. But they're going to talk about it. And he's safe. He looks safe. The throw beat him, but he had to tag him. That's the one thing.
Number 1, Royce Agarwal.
So Sean will ground out, basically. And that pitch is grounded foul. And that'll bring up number 1, Royce Agarwal. Left-handed batter. And he has 0-1. Zach. His next pitch, swing and a foul. No balls, 2 strikes. So we have 1 out. A runner over at third base. Tied at 1. On deck, Mitchell Estes. Swing and a miss. So Agarwal strikes out. That's the second out. And Mitchell Estes now will come up with a runner at third. That's a go-ahead run.
Number 10, Mitchell Estes.
Mitchell takes a big swing, swinging for the fence right there. And it's no balls, 1 strike. The next pitch just a little bit low. Pitch is bounced over to second base. Scooped up nicely over to first. So number 6 for the White Sox. Michael Dieters makes a nice play on that ground ball. And so the Marlins will leave a runner stranded at third base. They don't score any runs here in the second, so we'll go to the bottom of the second inning in a 1-1 tie. Michael Dieters leading it off here in the bottom of the second inning for the White Sox. A left-handed batter, number 6. 1-1 tie. Again here in the bottom of the second inning. Just a little bit high. 2-0. Coaching first base for the White Sox right now, Nick Kreider. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike to Michael Dieters. Aaron Miller on deck, and then Dustin Stender after him. And then we'll start with the top of the batting order again. 3 balls and 1 strike to Michael Dieters. Game moved along pretty good. Both these teams can field. That's always a good sign. And let's see, that's a walk.
Number 12,
And so Michael Dieter's with the base on balls. And Aaron Miller coming up next. Miller, big kid, right-hand batter. Oh, gets out of the way that one. Goes to the backstop and over to second base, number 6. Michael Dieters with the stolen base. That pitch in there for a strike. So Aaron Miller. That ball is way outside. Gets away from the catcher for another ball. That pitch in there right at the knees for a strike. And Aaron Miller just looks at that one and umpire with the call. That's 2 strikes now. And that pitch just a little bit low. And that's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss by Miller. He was going for the fence right there. Just couldn't get it. Ball a little high.
Batting third, number 11, Dustin Stender.
Dustin Stender now, number 11, comes up. His first at-bat of the day here in the bottom of the second inning. And he's got a man on second. 1 out. Andrews' pitch just a little bit low. Ball 1. That pitch in the dirt gets away from the catcher and over to third base. Backed up. Over to third base goes number 6, Michael Dieters. And the pitch to Dustin. Outside ball 4. So a walk.
Back to the top of the order, batting fourth, Corey Wilson.
And Corey Wilson, the leadoff man, comes up with runners at first and third and 1 out. And Corey walked in the first inning and scored. Scored the only Marlins or White Sox run so far. And he'll foul that one away. No balls, 1 strike. That pitch lined right to the first baseman. And he makes a nice catch. That's John McCallum for the Marlins, and he doubles up the runner over at first base. That's a double play, so we'll go to the top of the third inning. White Sox and Marlins tied at 1.
Kyle Ford.
And Kyle Ford, number 5, now batting for the Marlins here in the top of the third inning. Again, I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. Today is June 11th, 2005. We're at Jerbeck Park, Scripps Ranch Little League. This is the Double-A championship game, Marlins and White Sox. Ford looks at that ball high. So Kyle Wissing, Zach Wissing, doing a good job on the mound today. Allowed that run in the first inning. In fact, both pitchers, Andrew Koval and Zach Wissing, both allowing a run in the first. They get out of a little bit of trouble in the second. And now here in the third, so maybe they've settled down here.
Part of it was my fault. I did not have the time to work with people.
And that is strike 3 called, and so Zach Wissing will get Kyle Ford looking on strikes. And that's a first out, and that's the first time today. And we're here in the third that the leadoff man for either side has made an out. And Zach's pitch a little bit high. Chris Passanisi, The leadoff batter walked in the first and came around to score. And it's another ball. That's a nice pitch. Curves over nicely. And that's a strike, 2-1. Chris Passanisi. On deck, Matt McGarry. And then Andrew Colville, if he gets on. We've got one out. And it's 3-1 to Passanisi. 3-1 pitch, just a little bit high. He looks back at the umpire to make sure it was a walk. And it was. So, second time Chris Passanisi walks today. Last time he came around to score. So let's see if that's a good luck charm for the Marlins. And Matt McGarry, number 8. Ducks under that ball. 1-0. That pitch in there for a strike. So Zach finding the strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch hit into the air over to the shortstop. He's underneath it. Oh, it's going to go right off of his glove. It's a foot race to second base. And there in time is Chris Passanisi as number 6 for the White Sox. Michael Dieters tried to get to second base, but Passanisi got there about half a step first. And first and second. So Kyle McGarry gets on base. There's only 1 out. That pitch hit high into the air between right and center. Wilson just can't get there. Hauls it in. 1 run scores. Passanisi comes around. It's a wild pitch, but that will allow Andrew Colville to get over to second base. Staying at third is Matt McGarry. And so the Marlins have taken the lead, and again, both runs scored by Chris Passanisi. And so over to third base goes Matt McGarry, number 2, Andrew Colville at second. And Neil Boyd, number 4, comes up, only 1 out. So Corey Wilson made a nice attempt. That ball was hit right into the gap just. Couldn't get there in time. Maybe another step. And he could have made a play on it, but it was nicely placed by Colville. That's a strike. Strike 3. So quickly, Neil Boyd goes down looking. He had flied out to right. That was a nice play by Wilson in that first inning to grab that fly ball. And John McCallum now steps in. So 1 run is in. Marlins with a 2-1 lead, but they have runners at second and third. Base hit could get both of them home. But Zach Wissing would love to get out of it right now and get McCallum. Zach's pitch is hit on the ground towards the shortstop. He's up with it across the infield, not in time. Nice play, though, over there by the White Sox shortstop. Came up with the ball nicely, threw across the field, but number 9, John McCallum, got down the infield line, or the baseline, really quick. A run scores. That's McGarry. He comes around to score. Over to third base goes Colville. And his runners are first and third. With 2 outs, that ball hit into the air, and it's going to drop in between 3 fielders. Another run scores. The 3rd run of the inning. It's now 4-1. Marlins are kind of breaking it open here in the 3rd. but it's very early. And the White Sox still have to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. So Kyle Sample with the base hit to right field. And that ball hit high into the air. Coming up the center fielder. Oh, he just can't get to it. And will fall. A run scores. That is McCallum will score. And Sample goes over to third base. It's 5-1 Marlins now, and it's getting serious for the White Sox. They need to stop it right here. So that was Wyatt Baker with the single. And now Sean Reiner, number 7, batting. So Zach hasn't really been poor fielding or anything. Some of these balls just finding the holes. Another play by the shortstop over to second in time. Nice play by the White Sox. That's number 4, Bryce Willett. So the Marlins get 4 runs here in the top of the third inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. It's Marlins 5, White Sox 1. We'll be right back. And the first pitch here at the bottom of the third, White Sox hitter hits it over to second base. That was number 4, Bryce Willett, grounds it over to the second baseman for the Marlins, Chris Passanisi, and he makes a nice play. And there's 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third. And Alex Cohn now batting. Ball just a little bit low. Andrews' pitch is high. So let's see how the Marlins work this here. They've got a 4-run lead. They're leading 5-1, bottom of the third inning. But it is early. Andrews' pitch high. Andrew Koval just a little bit high. And that is a walk. So Alex Cohn with the base on balls. And the pitcher, Zach Wissing, now coming up to bat. So let's see if Zach can help himself out here. Move the runners over. He hits one into center field. Nice play. Alex rounding second. He's going to third, and he's going to make it. Alex Cohn with some nice speed as he moves all the way to third base on a single.
Fourth, number 10, Martin Negro.
So runners at first and third now. And the batter, Martin Mugro. Zach Wissing kind of faking like he's going to move over to second, and the catcher comes out. Number 3, Kyle Sample. And fakes a throw over there, gets the runner back. So the White Sox with some much-needed base runners right now as they trail by 4. Be important if they can get a run or 2 here in this inning and close the gap. Pitch is popped up, foul. Swing and a miss. So that's 2 strikes now on Mugro. And actually, that's the 3rd strike. So the umpire a little bit confused there. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. And Nick Kreider now comes up. Big swing and a miss. So runners on the corners now for the White Sox, first and third. They'd like to get one of those in. That ball will bounce up there, and that'll allow Zach Wissing to go all the way to second base. So now second and third, and a single here by Kreider could get 2 runs in and make the score 5-3. Pitch just outside.
Oh, no, I was going to ask, is Dusty on the blue or the black?
The black. The ones up the back. Yeah, he's like.
He's in black? Okay. I can't see them.
Oh, okay.
You know, my eyes.
Swing, did he go? And the umpire here first said nope. And that will be a walk. So the bases are now loaded. And Michael Dieters will come up here in the bottom of the third inning. White Sox need a big hit right here. Dieters ducks out of the way. Ball 1. They need a big hit. They trail by 4 runs. You know, a single could bring in 2 and keep the inning going. Pitch bounces up there in front of the catcher. Now over to his left.
Oh, you guys got your own thing.
Thanks.
You guys are
And
not
now the
making
coach.
the seeds.
We're making a big mess here.
You got manager Kevin McGarry and coach Gordon Koval for the Marlins.
Everybody's swearing, you know.
And they want to make sure their pitcher is okay. And he's going to stay there.
No way. It's film. I've been watching this film 30 years from now. That's a little bum.
Pitch to Kreider in there for a strike. Or to Dieters, Michael Dieters. And that's a ball. And a walk right here would bring in a run for the White Sox. And that pitch just a little bit outside, and so it is a walk. And so the White Sox get a run in.
Miller.
It's now 5-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. And Aaron Miller, number 12, will step in. Miller struck out in the second inning. 5-2 is the score. Koval's first pitch in there for a strike. Strike 1. And strike 1 pitch outside, 1-1. And Miller watches that one just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. And Andrew doesn't want to walk in another run. Need some strikes here. And that's ball 3.
These are
3-1 pitch in there for a strike. And now it's 3-2. Very important pitch now for both sides. Andrew Koval can get out of this inning with only allowing a run. The White Sox can keep it going. Swing and a foul tip held by the catcher. And the White Sox will leave the bases loaded, but they do get a run. And they draw closer. So we will go to the top of the 4th inning. It's the Marlins 5 and the White Sox 2. So the Marlins, Marlins here in the top of the 4th inning. They have the lead 5-2. And number 1, Royce Agarwal, will now bat. He struck out his first time up. Left-handed batter. And a new pitcher now for the White Sox, number 12. Aaron Miller is the new pitcher.
New pitcher on the mound.
And now as you have this happen, when you have a new pitcher, they get a little crossed up on their signals, so he has to talk to his catcher, getting things straightened out. So Miller seems ready. He works out of the stretch to start things off with nobody on. Pitch just a little bit high. Agarwal taking a few practice swings there as he steps out real quick. Miller's pitch just a little bit outside and goes to the backstop, and so a leadoff walk here
Number 10, Mitchell
for Agarwal. And Mitchell Estes now comes up. Mitchell grounded to second base his first time up. And a lot of little changes defensively now as for the White Sox. Number 9, Corey Wilson, goes into second base. Mitchell Estes, Agarwal trying to steal second. The throw is in time, and he is out at second base. So for the White Sox, Zach Wissing, who's now the catcher, throws out. Agarwal trying to steal. And there's one out now, and Mitchell Estes still up there. Swing and a miss on that one, on that stolen base. And so Miller looking to get out of here, and that ball bounces up there.
That's why we had tag even if they're on the base. I keep walking on. Nice
And that pitch outside. Miller's got some speed on that ball, but they're just a little bit low. If he can bring it up a bit, he's going to be tough to hit here today. And that pitch high and is a ball. So on the walk, Martin Mugro, or actually number 10, Mitchell Estes, gets on board. And that stolen base, or being caught stealing Agarwal, now is big because they could have had first and second with nobody out, but now there's just a man on first with one out. And Kyle Ford, number 5, steps in for the Marlins. Ball gets away from the catcher, and Mitchell will get a stolen base there as he gets to second base before the throw. And the Marlins now with a runner in scoring position with one out. Ford still up there on deck. Chris Passanisi. That pitch is high, so Ford's still up there. Ball gets away from Miller, the pitcher, but backed up by his shortstop. And that pitch is in there for a strike, and so Aaron Miller comes back, and that's the second strike. And so let's see if Ford, who struck out looking back in the last inning, in the third inning, see if he can draw the walk here. Looks at that ball outside, and now it's a full count. Ford swings and fouls it back. So again, we'll have the full count pitch. Miller, here it comes. Swing and a miss, so Ford will strike out. That's the second out. And there's still a runner at second base. That's Mitchell Estes. And Chris Passanisi, number 12. He's walked twice and scored 2 runs. So let's see if he can get on board again here for the Marlins. Ball gets away from the catcher, and over to third base goes Mitchell, just in time. So ball 1 to Passanisi. And the 1-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike. So Aaron Miller again just a little bit high. Young kids at this age, when they can throw really hard, like Aaron can, sometimes they have a little tendency to get a little control problem there. It's either high or too low. Throwback gets away from the infield all the way into center. And Michael Dieters, number 6, gets it back in. Miller's pitch is just outside. That's a ball. And so for the third time today, Chris Passanisi gets on board with a base on balls. And so there's runners at first and third, 2 outs. And Matt McGarry coming up. Miller's pitch just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball swing and a miss. It was in the dirt. Going over to second base is Passanisi. He'll make it. And not attempting to score there, coming from third, was Mitchell Estes. He stayed right there. Didn't want to chance anything. They have the lead, 5-2. Miller's pitch. It's a ball. Let's see if Aaron Miller can get out of this jam here in the 4th. Ball just low. And Miller's pitch is going to be high for a ball. And so now the bases are loaded. So all the base runners today, or in this inning, have gotten aboard on walks. And Andrew Koval, the pitcher for the Marlins, will come up, and he has the bases loaded. And he has a chance to put this game out of reach. And the White Sox are going to talk it over. I don't think they're going to make a change here. So Miller will stay in, gets a few words from his coach. Again, the base is loaded, 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning. Marlins leading 5-2. Miller really needs to get out of the inning here. The pitch is in there for a strike. So Koval takes a strike. No balls, 1 strike. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Koval trying to make something happen here with the bases loaded. And so now Aaron Miller just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning without allowing a run after he's walked the bases loaded here. There's 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He goes right after Koval, and he strikes him out. That's the 3rd out of the inning. The bases are left loaded. So the Marlins don't score. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Marlins 5, White Sox 2. So the White Sox coming up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They trail 5-2. They need some runs. And Dustin Stender, number 11, for the White Sox, will lead it off here in the 4th inning. He walked his first time up. Ball's outside. And we've got a dog now trying to keep score over on the scoreboard. chart over there in left field. Looks like he's having a good old time. Stu Reich is in there. So Stender. Let's see if he can put the ball in a play here. Pitch is low. That ball is going to be hit down the right field line and just foul. So DJ Dustin Stender will step back in. That was a rip right down the line here. Pitch is called a strike. It's Stender. Can't believe it. Looked a little inside, but that will be a strike call. And that's strike 3. So Stender's first out. And Corey Wilson comes up with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And he puts the ball into play, bounces it right back to the pitcher. And for the Marlins, the new pitcher, number 8, Matt McGarry. And he tosses the ball over to John McCallum at first base. And just like that, there's 2 outs for 2 batters. And Bryce Willett. Bryce Willett. Swing, and that's a foul right off the umpire's chest protector. It's a good thing he's got one out there. The balloon is what they call that big chest protector. Not used much anymore except for some umpires in Tijuana. That ball is hit right back to number 8, McGarry. He makes a great play on that line drive. And so we have our first 1, 2, 3 inning in the books here, and it's in the bottom of the 4th inning. So the Marlins will come up to bat in the top of the 5th. They lead this game 5-2. Okay, for the Marlins here in the top of the 5th inning, they lead by 3 runs, 5-2. And Aaron Miller still pitching now for the White Sox. Did a good job of getting out of that jam. The last inning didn't allow a run. And Neil Boyd comes up to bat. Boyd takes the ball. So Miller, big kid up there on the mound, wants to keep this game close and get his offense a chance here 2 more times in the 5th and the 6th to try to tie this game up, take the lead. Boyd watches that ball outside. And that pitch will bounce up there. And so Boyd will get the leadoff walk here in the top of the 5th inning. And now let's see, we have
number 9, John McCallum.
John McCallum coming up, but a little talking to between the catcher Zach and the pitcher Aaron. They seem to be on the same page. So here is the first pitch to McCallum. Bounces. Boyd doesn't go anywhere. Nice save by Zach. John McCallum, number 9. On deck, Kyle Sample. And McCallum watches that ball for a strike. Nobody out. Leadoff man on board with the walk. That ball goes to the backstop, but Boyd stays at first base. Doesn't move over to second. That pitch is hit on the ground over to second base. Wisely, Wilson goes over to first base, leaves that runner over at second, Boyd. And so Boyd moves to second. And on the ground out, that's the first out. And Kyle Sample will be the batter. Sample struck out in the first, singled in the third. He takes a big hack, fouls it away. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch, swing and a miss. And so Kyle Sample has 2 strikes. Aaron's pitch, swing and fouled away. So Sample, there's a couple of good hacks, fouled a couple away, but he's still in the hole with 2 strikes. Aaron's pitch. Outside. Trying to get to third is Boyd. Does he get there in time? Yes, just under the tag by the third baseman. Just in there. So Boyd got a late jump on that wild pitch, but was able to make it to third base anyway. So now with 1 out, there's a runner at third. Sample with 2 strikes and a ball. Aaron's pitch. Outside again, ball 2. Here's Aaron's pitch. Swing, fouled, held by the catcher on the foul tip. Kyle Sample is down on strikes. And that's the second out of the inning here in the top of the 5th inning, and the Marlins with a runner at third. They'd like to get that runner in, and Wyatt Baker, number 11, steps in. So that big third inning by the Marlins, 4 runs. That's the difference right now. And the pitch is outside for a ball. So Miller now with a couple of balls here back to back. Baker, maybe he doesn't want too much of Baker here. Baker has 2 singles today, 1 to left, 1 to center. So he's done some damage. Aaron's pitch, swing and a miss for a strike. And Miller's pitch outside, ball, 3-1. Aaron's 3-1 pitch hit in the air towards third base, and that ball will die on the infield. The run will score, as there was nothing McGraw could do with that. And so it's now 6-2, Marlins with the lead. So the third hit of the day for Wyatt. And Sean Reiner has grounded out a couple times. Here's a pitch. That's low.
What team are you? What team are you? You're 45? No, the name of your team? Yeah. Oh, you're the Twins. Okay. I was yeah, we're not. I'm trying to find out
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. So let's see if Aaron can get the job done here with his batter, Sean Reiner. Royce Agarwal is on deck. And Reiner looks at a ball.
Brandon, you got to go over now. You got some people over there.
And that ball will be ball 4 as it goes to the backstop. And so now there's runners at first and second. 2 outs. They were nearly out of the inning, the White Sox. They had 2 outs, a runner at third, but a single on the infield drove in a run and now a walk. And there's runners at first and second. And Agarwal, the left-hand batter, steps in, swinging and a miss, strike 1. Yeah, strike 1 pitch, a little high. Oh, cool.
Twins.
Pitch is outside, so Agarwal watches that with a good eye as it's a ball.
Oh, they have a certain amount of
And high. Agarwal still there. The ball gets away and rolls into center field. And Wilson will run it down, gets it back into the pitcher, Aaron Miller. Agarwal watches that one over at the knees for a strike. That's a second strike. So the count is full. And Royce Agarwal trying to get on base here for the second time today. He walked his last time up. And that pitch is just high. Ball 4. That's his second walk.
Number 10, Mitchell Estes.
So the bases are loaded for the Marlins. They have 1 run over. And Mitchell Estes, now the batter. Aaron with the strike over. Pitch is high. So after Agarwal, Mitchell Estes. Mitchell, he walked and was stranded over at third base in the last inning. Kind of did a lot of work. He moved over to second base on a wild pitch, moved over to third base on a wild pitch. He was running that last inning, got stranded there at third. And now Zach and Aaron are going to talk again at the mound. Try to smooth some things out, see if Aaron can get out of this inning. Pitch will bounce, go back to the screen. So Aaron, a little bit tired now, I think. He's thrown quite a few pitches here in the last couple innings. He really had to do a lot of work that last inning to get out without allowing a run. Ended up striking out Koval to end that inning. And another walk, so that'll force in a run. It's now 7-2. Second run of the inning here. And it's 7-2 Marlins over the White Sox. And Kyle Ford, number 5, now coming up to bat. Pitch is high, a little outside. 1-0. Aaron's pitch, that'll bounce up there. So Aaron's walked in a run, the second run of the inning. Bases loaded, doesn't want to do it again. Yeah, it's another ball four, another walk. And that's a third run of the inning here. It's now 8-2 Marlins. The base is still loaded. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Chris Passanisi, number 12 for the Marlins. Now we have a conference at the mound.
Hang on.
So the little conference is over at the mound. The base is still loaded. Chris Passanisi up. Chris has 3 walks today. He's scored 2 runs, and the White Sox don't want to see him on base again. They want this third out. Pitch is high for a ball. And again, it's high. That pitch is swung on, hit over to second, gets right by Wilson, the second baseman. And 2 runs are going to come across to score. Chris Passanisi with a single to left field, well, to right center field. And that is 5 runs here in the inning. So that's the limit. So the Marlins with a 10-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, or bottom of the 5th inning in this AA championship game. Kings Officer George Langevin production. So the White Sox leading it off. Alex here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a new pitcher for the Marlins. And that's still McGarry. Matt McGarry, who came in to pitch last inning. That's low. Bounces up there for a ball. McGarry's pitch. That's in there for a strike. And McGarry's pitch is hit over to second base. Nice stop. And unable to come up with it, though, Mitchell Estes, number 10. That ball was hit really hard. And it kind of bounced around, and he's unable to get over to first base. But it was a nice job of stopping the ball before it went to the outfield. And so Alex for the White Sox is on. And Zach up to bat. The ball gets away from the catcher, and stealing second is Alex. Nice job. So he takes advantage there.
Never mind. Oh, the brain's going.
Again, we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 10-2. Marlins leading. That ball is bounced over to the first baseman. Steps in the bag for one. Tries to go to third across the diamond, but it's not in time. So for the Marlins, number 9, John McCallum with a nice play. First out. Over to third base. It's Alex. And now Martin Mugro. Struck out twice so far today in the 1st and 3rd innings. And we're now here in the 5th.
How you doing? Good to meet you.
They won the World Series.
All I know is spinning is the bicycle, right?
Yeah, no, I was getting this wheel over here. The map seems,
McGarry's pitch is high for a ball.
that wheel around because I don't see a motor on it, you know?
Is 1 out. Runner at third. White Sox could really use that run right now. Pitch is fouled back. Caught by the umpire. Hits his chest protector, then goes inside and hits him right on the chest. Yeah, that pitch is outside. So Martin up there, number 10 for the White Sox. Big swing and a miss, and that's 2 strikes now. Let's see if McGarry can go right at him. And we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And so Martin with the walk. And the batter now is Nick Kreider, number 3. So Nick Kreider today is walked and he struck out. And he hits this one foul. Near the backstop. That ball's going to get away. Martin's trying to steal second, and he's going to make it. Slides in. And there's runners at second and third now.
We'll do one of those, and I have 3
That's a ball. So Alex over at third. Martin at second. That ball is hit into center field. That's going to fall for a single. Martin's coming around trying to score. The throw to the plate. Not in time. 2-run score, and over to second base goes Nick Kreider. So 2-run score. It's now 10-4. So Kreider with a great hit. Gets a double.
I don't know where he's at.
And that'll bring up Michael Dieters. Dieters hits the ball into the air. It's going to bounce on the infield. Bobbling around. Andrew can't come up with it. Sliding across the bag at first is Dieters. And there's runners at first and third now. 1 out only here in the inning. And there's runners at first and third now.
Now up the bat, number 12, Aaron Miller.
So Aaron Miller done the pitching duties the last few innings for the White Sox. That pitch is high by McGarry. And the next one is low, ball 2. And McGarry's pitch is low, ball 3. So now McGarry just 1 strike away from walking the bases loaded here. And Miller will talk to his third base coach. Actually, from walking, the bases loaded. There's first and third right now. And that's a ball. And so the bases are loaded.
Bases loaded. Number 11, Dustin Stender.
And Dustin Stender now coming up. Here in the bottom of the 5th, bases are loaded. So the White Sox threatening here. Pitch is high. Ball 1. 1-0 pitch in there on the outside for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 runs in for the White Sox here. They've got the bases loaded. Pitch is hit into the air into right field. Right to the right fielder, number 11, Wyatt Baker. Nice hit, though, by Dustin Stender. I think he hit the ball any harder than that, and it's flied out to right field. That's the 2nd out. Bases are still loaded. And Corey Wilson will come up with the bases loaded. Corey walked in the 1st inning, and he's made a couple outs since then. Pitch is hit into the air. It's popped up on the infield collision, but the second baseman will make the catch. 2 runs will score in the inning, as that was for the White Sox. And that is going to be the end of the inning because we have the 5-run rule. The White Sox could only make it 10-9, so there's no way that they could have come back to tie the game. And so at the end of 5 innings, that will be the game. And so the champions here, 2005 AA Scripps Ranch Little League, are the Marlins as they beat the White Sox 10-4 in a very good, exciting game. A lot of hits, a lot of good fielding too, which is always nice to see at this age level. And so that'll do it for us here from Jerebeck Park. And I'm Ken Gonzalez from George Landry Productions. We hope you enjoyed this game. And until next time, stay safe and have a good day, everybody.
All right, everybody, I wanted to congratulate both teams on an awesome game and a great season. During the season, I came down and had a chance to watch the AA teams play, and there were a number of very, very competitive teams, some good talent down there in AA, and really liked watching the games. And I saw 2 great teams out here playing today. So that may be a reflection of their managers and coaches and the heart and the spirit of these kids. So let me do this. Let me introduce. This is Ken Stender for you folks out there who don't know. He's the division rep for AA, and he's the guy that helped keep the division running smoothly. So, and let me introduce now the manager of the White Sox, who were the American League champions, and congratulations, White Sox, on being the American League champions. Okay, the manager, Ken Magro. I'll hand it over to Ken to bring up his coaches and his players.
Very good job, guys. I'm going to speed up this process. I want to bring both my pitchers up here first. It's right up in front there. Zach and Aaron pitched 2 shutouts to get us here together. These guys have been great all year, but you know what? 3 other pitchers behind these guys would have done the same. So I want to recognize these guys for what they did. Congratulations. All right. I need to thank the Marlins for allowing us to play today. We actually only have 8 of our players here today. And so we were missing our 3rd baseman, and Nick Kreider. Come on up, Nick. He played short most of the year. He moved over, played 3rd today, did a great job. Congratulations, Nick Kreider. Michael, always got a smile on his face. Come on up here, Michael. Okay, he could play 2nd and center, but I used to only had to I can only put him in 1 position. So usually I switched off. There you go. Good job. Corey Wilson, my leadoff guy. I can't remember how many times he went 3 for 3 this year. Awesome leadoff hitter. Good job. Martin there, he's got a swing that, man, if he hits it, it goes. Him and a couple other guys got the most home runs on the team. Congratulations, Martin. All right, DJ. DJ broke his wrist early on. He's running as well. So everybody. This guy's a great guy to have on your team. After he broke his arm, he was the #1 cheerleader for us. He kept the keep going. And you can see he's keeping you guys going. I love that guy. And now we got Dustin Prehoden, another one of my casualties this year. He told me he'd play with this cast on. That's how tough he is. All right. Alex Cohn. He's my Barry Bonds. He received an intentional walk last game after his towering home run. Incredible. Good job, Alex. Bryce Willett. By far, this guy is the youngest one in our league, and you can't tell it the way he plays. Good job, Bryce. And I want to thank Dustin, who came out here and played for us and allowed us to play the game. Thank you, guys.
And since Ken forgot to introduce him, I'm going to have Rich Woodward come up.
You weren't supposed to do that.
Rich Woodward, Rich has been in the league since, I don't know, because he's been in so long. But let me introduce now the manager of the Marlins, Kevin McGarry. Come on up. And Marlins, congratulations. Not only are you the National League champions, but you are the World Series winners. Good job.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the White Sox on a great season. We played them, I think, 4 times this year, and they were always a tough team. And they played us tough again today, so congratulations to the White Sox. Congratulations to our team. We played very well today as well, and we ended up getting a victory. I'd like to thank Ken for the job he did as the division rep this year, and to all the administrators here at Scripps Ranch Little League that make this such a fun league for all the kids to play in. This is Borden Koval, is our assistant coach. Really, he's the brains behind our whole team. He does everything because he's real good at it. So I'll get my team up here right now. First up is Neil. Neil, come on up here. Neil played center field. Cleanup hitter, did a great job today. Had a hit.
Pictures now. Good job, Neil.
Next up, Andrew. Andrew pitched 3 great innings today. Played a little shortstop as well. He had a couple big hits early in the game. Next up is Matt. Matt also pitched today and played shortstop. He and Andrew switched positions. He did a great job for us today and all year. Chris? Oh wait, take a picture. All right, you can leave now. Go. Chris, our second baseman, our leadoff hitter, did a great job. Had a big 2-run single in that last inning. Drove in a couple runs. Plays great second base for us. Oh no. And he was one of the finalists for our sportsmanship award this year. Could have been a tie, but anyway, Chris. All right, you're done. Get out of here. Next up is Mitchell, was our sportsmanship award winner. Mitchell played some second base today. Was on base a couple times. Did a great job for us all year. He's always had a smile on his face. He's always fun to have around. Congratulations, Mitchell. Kyle Sample, our catcher. Most teams you got to beg to find a catcher. Kyle begged us to be the catcher. He caught almost every inning the whole season. He's like a workhorse back there. He did a great job. Love being back there. Congratulations, Kyle. Royce, come on out here. Royce played first base and outfield for us. He had a couple big hits throughout the playoffs to get us into the championship game. Sean, come on up here, Sean. Sean played third base and outfield. Hit the ball real hard today. Hit the ball real hard and got out, and then hit a bloop and got a single, so it all evened out. But he did a great job for us all year. Sean, smile. There you go. Wyatt, come on up here, Wyatt. Wyatt pitched, played first, played third, and played outfield for us today. Had a big catch in the last inning out there in right field. Had a couple big hits today. Did a great job for us all season. Kyle Ford, come on out here, Kyle. Kyle got an RBI today, walked and drove in a run, and played second base and outfield for us, and improved probably more than anybody in the team all year. He did a great job from start to finish. Smile for a picture. John played first base for us. He was a great defensive first baseman. Got some hits for us, some big hits throughout the playoffs, and real fun to have on our team. Congratulations, John, on a great season. Thank you to everybody, the parents of the Marlins, and to the White Sox. It was fun playing you guys this year, and I certainly enjoyed it.
All right, everybody, let's give a big round of applause to both the Marlins and the White Sox for such an awesome game here today. Little League baseball is baseball at its finest. You know, you can go out and watch the professionals play and routinely make hard plays look really easy, or you can come out and watch the Little League. And when they make a good play, it is really something to watch. And I saw a lot of that out here today. It makes it a lot of fun to watch these kids. So, hey, Marlins and White Sox, awesome season. Good job, guys.
Ken Gonzalez here for George Langevin Productions over here with the White Sox with the post-game interviews here at Jerabeg Park on June 11th, 2005. And over to my left, who do we have here?
DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm Dustin Prehoden.
All right, DJ. How many times have you been interviewed here? Like 3 or 4 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
All right, and you guys were both on the injured list here for this game today. Why don't you tell us what happened to you there?
I fell off my scooter trying to do a 180, and it really hurts, and that's all.
How much longer do you have to wear your cast?
Till next Thursday.
And it's off forever and ever?
Yeah.
Now, did the whole team get to sign it?
Yeah.
Did they? Could you hold it up for the camera so you can see that thing? All right, now why don't you tell us how you got hurt there?
I was playing soccer in a tournament of the final game, and one of the strongest kickers of the league kicked me in my ankle, and I had to quit the game and go to the emergency room.
So he was trying to kick the ball, and you guys were both going for it at the same time, and he hit your ankle?
Not really. I was sliding to save the ball from him kicking it, and he kicked me instead of the ball.
And that probably hurt real bad.
Yeah.
Now, did you get your teammates to sign it too?
Yeah.
Now, let's see that thing. Get that? All right, so is there anything you want to say to your teammates out there about how they played without you? What do you want to say?
Peace out.
Peace out. Okay, how about you?
I think they played really good, and I hope they're on my team next year.
All right, that's a good thing to say. How about, what do you want to say hi to? Anybody? Or what, you got one more thing there?
Yeah, I like potatoes, just to let you know.
You want to say hi to any family members or anybody?
Yeah, my mom's over there, so hi, and
Is that it?
yeah, I guess bye-bye.
Okay, how about you, man?
I want to say thanks for my dad for supporting me all the years I've been here.
Good job. All right. Well, guys, hopefully you come back from your injuries next year and play some more baseball, okay? Good job. Now watch the camera. And we've got more White Sox players to my left, and let's meet them right now. Who do we have?
Nicholas Kreider, Bryce Willett.
All right, Nick, why don't you tell us about this season? Did you get a lot of new friends, or were these teammates that you've had for a long time?
Well, I met Bryce, and I asked him how old he was, and he told me that he was 9 years old, and I said, so did you play last year for single A? He said, no, I just came from from MAPS, so I'm saying, wow, that's pretty intense.
Big jump,
yeah, and then I met a few other kids that have been on my team, and Dustin and DJ got to be on my team again, and
so would you like to have these guys on your team again next year?
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
You guys play pretty well together. How about you? How was making that jump? So you probably haven't played with any of these guys before.
Well, I had a friend, Alex, from MAPS. I think he jumped too, I think.
And was he on your team, or is he just playing for another team in the same league?
He was on my team.
He's on your team.
Yeah.
So you guys came all the way to this championship game. Was it a long season, tough season?
Yeah, I think we got off in a rough start.
You finished off really good.
Yeah.
That's always the best thing that you can do. What do you think? Is that how the season happened? You got off to a rough start, then you finished off really well?
Definitely, yeah.
Did you guys have a big winning streak at the end?
Yeah, we actually did. We were in the playoffs, and we had a big winning streak. We lost one game and came right back and started getting into it again.
You guys did a good job. You guys played really well. You guys can field. It's a good fielding team. So is there anybody you want to say hi to or say to anybody out there?
Yeah, congratulations, Marlins, and hope we play you next year, and thanks for having me on your team, White Sox.
All right. How about you?
Hi, Mom. She's right over there. And I hope we play the Marlins next year.
Yeah. You'll get them next year, right?
Of course.
Exactly. All right, guys, good job looking to the camera. Give a nice smile, and that'll be it. King is Oscar George Landry Productions. We come back again with our interviews. We got a couple of fresh players for the White Sox, so let's find out who they are. Who do we have here?
Martin.
Martin, what position do you play?
Catcher or third base.
Okay, and how about you? We saw you pitch today.
Aaron, and I play pitcher, outfield, or catcher.
You can play just about anything. You play first base?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a big guy. That's why. So do you like to play catcher or third base better?
Catcher.
Catcher? Yeah, it's a different breed to play catcher. You got to be really tough to be back there.
Yeah, well, in like 2 weeks ago, I sprained my finger, so one game I couldn't catch. Another game, I had to take Tylenol to take the pain out.
Did you sprain it catching?
No.
No. Playing baseball?
No.
Uh-oh. Doing something else, huh?
Yeah.
Do you play any other sports?
Yes, I play soccer and basketball.
Yeah. All right. So now, Aaron, have you been playing in this league for a while?
Yeah.
How many years?
4.
4 years. So you've come all the way up, caps, maps, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of your teammates? So you watch a lot of guys growing up. They getting pretty good?
Yeah. Teammates get really good. I try and make them better because everybody says I'm really good, so.
Well, we watch you pitch today, and you throw pretty hard. That's one thing we noticed.
Yeah.
You practice pitching a lot?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite position?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, I could tell out there. Next year, when you come back, you're going to be a lot better. Do you guys hope to play the Marlins again next year?
Not really.
Want to see someone else? What other team out there would you like to play?
From this year?
Yeah, if you had to see the guys next year again, which team would you want to play in the championship?
Maybe the Rockies.
Rockies? How about you? What do you think?
I'd go with the Yankees because we were along with them all year fighting for first place, and then we beat them last week.
So you beat them to get in the championship?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, who do you want to say hi to out there? Anybody?
Let's see, my mom, my brother, and all my teammates.
Okay. Aaron, how about you?
My family members and all my old teammates.
Are they going to be your teammates next year, probably?
I don't know.
You never know, huh? What about you? You hope they are?
Yeah. Well, also, when I was catching, I couldn't catch for Aaron because he threw so hard and right down the middle. I could only catch
Especially
for...
with a sprained finger.
Yeah.
Hurt, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's why I didn't catch for Aaron.
All right. Well, good job, guys. Look into the camera, give a nice smile, and George will be real happy with you. Ken Gonzalez for George Landry Productions. We just interviewed the White Sox. Now we have the champion Marlins here with us to my left, and we got a couple of the guys here, 4 of them to be exact. And we're going to see what they have to say about what happened today. And who do we have here?
Matt McGarry.
And what positions do you play?
I play pitcher and shortstop.
Yep. You pitched today, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to that. How about you?
My name's Mitchell Estes, and I play second and sometimes outfield.
Okay. And you?
Chris Pasnisi, and I play second and sometimes outfield too.
All right, and over here on the end?
I'm Andrew Koval, and I pitch and play shortstop.
Okay, so we got the 2 pitchers here today. We got guys here who walked and got hits and good infield and all sorts of stuff. That's what you guys won. And so how does it feel to be a champion?
It was good because me and him went to the World Series last year against each other, and then he won, and then we lost.
Oh, so you were playing against you. What team were you on last year?
I was on the Braves, and there's another guy on our team, Sean Reiner. He was on my team.
And what team were you on last year?
I was on the Oakland A's.
So the A's beat the Braves last year in the championship?
By 1 point.
That's it, so it was close.
Yeah, it was really close.
Very close game. How about what team were you on last year?
Last year I was on the Pirates, and I almost made it to the World Series, but I didn't.
So one of these two teams beat you guys.
No, last year I was in Single A, and they were in MAPS.
Yeah.
So we were a league ahead of them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Skip. You go skip. Yeah. Yeah.
Go straight to double A's.
We don't like. We think that single is bad.
Okay, Andrew, what about you? Did you make a jump too, or did you go all the way up the ladder?
Last year I played in Double-A, didn't do very well, and our team didn't do very well either.
But this year is a whole different story. What do you think about your teammates this year?
Amazing.
Yeah?
First time ever into a game where there's even a chance that you could make it into the World Series.
And you guys did? Yep. There it was. What was like the most exciting thing this season? Was it this game?
Yeah, probably. It felt like a real major league game with the national anthem and everything.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, and all the stuff they had around here today. What about you? What do you think about that?
No.
Pretty exciting?
Yeah. The coach told us that, like, pretend it's a normal game. Our record was like 20-2, and we only like tied once.
Now, do you think it was hard to pretend it's a normal game? I know people say that, but you really can't, can you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty hard.
Because you know it's not a normal game.
Because it's the World Series. Yeah. The last game we're going to play, so.
Exactly. You can't hide the fact that it's a World Series. Exactly.
Yeah.
So were you, like, nervous last night or anything? Could you sleep?
Well, yeah, I just had a dream. I just, like, kept on thinking about it, and then I got through breakfast and everything then right now.
So you were ready to go. So did you think you were going to win today?
Of course.
How about you?
Yeah, probably.
Pretty confident? Pretty confident? How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's the way you got to do it, you know? So who do you want to say hi to out there? Big list?
Got lots of friends.
Lots of friends from school and family?
Yeah. Brothers and people at my school, my friends.
Well, I'm sure they'd appreciate that. How about you?
Probably same with Matt, friends, and brother, cousins, and family, basically the same.
A lot of people. Okay, how about you? Who do you want to say hi to?
Same with Mitchell. Family, friends, teammates, and that's all. Yeah.
Does anybody have any pets? No one ever says hi to their dog.
I have a pet dog. His name is Buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's really playful.
Okay, that's cool. And over here on the end, Andrew, who do you want to say hi to?
My dad, he's right there. My teacher who came to the game.
Oh, that's cool.
The Mitchell and me and another one of our teammates are in her class. And somebody on the other team is in her class as well.
Wow.
So a lot of kids that she knew were playing. And I think my sister, all my relatives, my uncle and my grandma, my uncles, my aunts, and my grandparents.
It's a lot of people. Oh my gosh. Well, good luck or good job today, guys. You guys are the champions, and maybe next year you'll be champions again. It's a different team. All right? Good job. Give a nice smile to the camera there. Hold up those trophies. King Gonzalez, and we're here with the manager of the Marlins, Kevin McGarry. And Kevin just won the championship. Great group of kids. What do you want to say to them?
Well, I think that the boys played well today, and I think the good news is that they had fun, and that from the beginning of the season right up until today, I think they got a little bit better all the time. And so it was kind of exciting to watch this team grow from its, kind of infancy back in, February is when we started, and then here we are on June 11th, and they won the whole championship. So they did a great job. Good kids, nice boys.
Good kids, and they can really field for this age level, too. We were very impressed with that.
Well, thanks. I think that's one of the strengths of our team is that we were a pretty good defensive baseball team, and especially at this level here, this Double-A level, the team that fields the best and pitches the best usually ends up winning. So they did, and our team has done that consistently all year. What was our record this year, boys? 20-2. So I mean, they did a good job all year.
You can't ask for anything better than that, and the championship. Well, congratulations, good job, and hopefully you can get another squad out there next year.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Bye. Ken Gonzalez, George Langevin Productions, and there you have it here from Jerbick Park. This was a Double-A World Series championship game featuring the Marlins and the White Sox, and it was the Marlins with a 10-4 victory over the White Sox. Both teams played extremely well. They could hit, they could field, but in the end it was the Marlins that got the timely hitting. They had that big third inning where they scored 4 runs, and that just broke the game wide open. So it was a beautiful day here. Nice June day, 2005. And you couldn't ask for anything more. Again, Ken Gonzalez, George Langevin Productions, saying goodbye, everybody, and hope to see you again next year.